Hello, this is Matt Vozella from the Bryant University Audiovisual Office. This is a brief tutorial for faculty, staff, and administrators on how to use our web program, Patron Initiated Request, or PIR, to reserve audiovisual equipment. So you can see here we are at the Bryant homepage. The first thing you need to do is access the audiovisual area of this page. You can either search through these areas down here and get to the page, but I prefer just to come up to the web bar, delete the /Bryant and turn it into /AV. Press enter, and you are now on the AV web page. To access the Patron Initiated Request, you come here to where the PIR area is highlighted and click on that. It is then going to go over several different items to keep in mind. A big one is within 24 hours you can check out equipment, but we will not deliver it. So what we mean by that is if you need to check it out sooner than 24 hours, you can reserve it, but you will have to come to the office to pick it up. There's also several numbers down here. If you are unable to log into this PIR system, of people you can call, Jason Gregg being the foremost one, at 6300. And then also the notion that AV unfortunately does not book rooms. We book simply the audiovisual gear. So if you need to book a room, you need to call the conference office at extension 6921. But we're going to move on, so we're going to come right down here and log into PIR by using our username and password from our email. So you click here, it opens up this area right here, and you go ahead and input your credentials. It is then prompting you for selecting a location. For the most part, unless you have access to the Koffler Communication Complex, you will only have the audiovisual office. Click here, and it drops you into the very first part. So if you need a step-by-step, you can come over here to the right side, and it will show you how to make a new reservation step-by-step. If you're familiar with this, you just come right over here to the left side in this box and begin inputting your information. First thing you want to do is input the date you want it. We're going to do this for tomorrow. Second thing you want to do is input the time. Something to remember when inputting the time is if your meeting starts at 10 a.m., you probably want to allow the technician who's going to be delivering the equipment a couple of minutes to set up and configure the equipment. So I usually use 10 minutes as a rule. So if my meeting started at 10 a.m., I actually want to set this reservation for 9:50. Then you set your meeting duration, let's say for just, demonstration purposes that we're running for an hour. I'm going to purposely leave the deliver to location blank so I can show you something later. And then under notes, anything you can put in this notes as to what the meeting is relating to, where you want the equipment positioned in the room. Basically anything you can put in here will help us understand where we need to put it and what you're using it for. It's going to make configuring items a lot easier. So for this purpose, I'm just going to put this is a demo. And then down below this area, if say you needed to reserve a piece of equipment and you need to repeat that reservation, say every Wednesday from one date to another date, you can come in here. You choose your day, you choose when you want it to start repeating, you choose when you want it to end repeating, and then you add the rule. Additionally, if you only wanted to repeat this reservation, say once or twice, at the exact same times, you can come down in here and enter just a single date and add the rule, enter another date and add the rule. Something to keep in mind when you're repeating these reservations, it will repeat at the exact same time every day. If you need to change the time in which the equipment is delivered from day to day, you're going to have to make individual reservations. So we are going to continue on. Come up here to the Add Resources tab. Now, I want you to immediately notice this small red box in the lower left-hand corner. Anything that shows up in red in this area is a problem with your reservation that's going to cause it not to commit itself, not to actually put itself in our system. So in this case, you can see set reservations must have a deliver to location and no resources have been added. Well, we know no resources have been added. I haven't even started that process yet. But I did forget to put in this deliver to location. So I'm going to come back up here to the set times tab and come down to the deliver to drop down menu. There's a whole list of all the rooms on campus here. The ones you probably want to pay attention to are this UNISTR, that stands for Unistructure, and then you have all the room names. So I'm actually going to put ours in the audiovisual office. Again, this is a demo, we're good. Back to add resources. As you can see, there's a list of resource types. So we have accessories, items specifically for the Grand Hall, cameras, you name it. It's all here. And if you click on any one of these resource types, in this case I'm clicking on a high-definition hard drive camera, it will give you a thumbnail picture of what the camera looks like, a brief description of what it does, and then it will give you a timeline here to let you see if it has been reserved either by yourself or by someone else, or if it's currently checked out from day to day. So we can look here and we can see that both of these cameras are completely available the entire week. But should it show up in red, yellow, or blue, that would indicate that it is reserved by either yourself or somebody else. So in this case, we're all set. I'm going to add camera 1, come right here to this add key, and click add. There we are. Now, since I've changed my deliver to location and added a resource, we can see I now have no problems that are going to occur. You can then continue this process, adding more and more gear. So let's go ahead and add a laptop here. So as we can see, if we look down here, this yellow area states that these 3 laptops are currently checked out. So these would be unable to be used, so I want to be sure to select one that is not one of these 3. So in this case, we see 10, nice and wide open. So I'm going to add laptop 410. There we go. And now if I scroll up, you can see here I have a contents of what I've added. If for some reason I decided I didn't want a specific item, I can just click this remove button and it's going to take it away. So I have a camera. I know that my camera is going to need a tripod. Camera tripods. Scroll down, take a look. Okay, we're wide open. I can select any one of them. They're all the same. Add a tripod. And something to remember, especially when you're dealing with electronic devices, generally most electronic devices you need to plug in, so you usually want to include an extension cord, which is actually AC power. So if we come down here and look, we are looking, don't worry about this unserialized. This is for our purposes. It just means that we have a specific number of them, but we don't have them actually serialized in our systems, as opposed to, say, laptops or cameras. So I'm going to choose the short AC, which is under 25 feet. Go ahead and add that. Good. So now I can see over here in my reservation contents, I have a short AC cable, a tripod, and my camera. That's all I need. So now I'm going to come here to the confirm button and click confirm. It then creates the reservation. You can see here now that you reservation and you have a reservation number under CK, stands for checkout. This is my reservation number. That it is reserved in green, so it's reserved for me on Tuesday at these times. I can then go ahead and create another reservation if I like, or I can come here to view other reservations, and if I were to have another reservation, this area right here where it says you have no other reservations would light up with the ability to choose them and then look ahead. So while looking in your reservation, if after you've confirmed it you decide you don't need something, you can come over here to the right and remove each one of these. Or if for some reason you decide you don't want it at all, you can come here to delete and delete the entire reservation permanently. So this has been a brief tutorial on how to use the Patron Initiated Request, or PIR. If you have any more questions, please contact myself at extension 6128 or Jason Gregg at the same number. Thank you.